Hello again, this is Brent, and today we're going to take a look at the new Field Manager tool in the Trimble Ag Software. From basic field boundaries to prescriptions, the new Field Manager tool will act as a one-stop shop for managing your farm's resource data. Along with this new feature, we will also be covering some enhancements that have been made to the mapping tools. So let's not waste any time and jump right in. When you first open the new Field Manager, you will notice that the layout is quite similar to the legacy Client Farm Field menu. This will help existing users with some basic tool navigation. There are 3 tabs at the top of the page that will navigate you to the Client, Farm, and Field lists for your account. Right below that, we have a search box to help quick search for a client, farm, or field. Starting from the top right, you have the Unretire and Retire buttons. To the right of those, you have the Add button to create a new client, farm, or field. In case of the Fields tab, you will also have a Download button in order to download any or all of the field boundaries from the software into either a single shapefile, multiple shapefiles, or KMZ format. To complete this, you just need to check off the desired fields and click the Download option. Just above the Client Farm Field lists on the right-hand side is a Filter button to help narrow down your lists accordingly. If you click the 3 dots on the far right side of the lists, it will give you an option to edit, access the Field Manager, retire, or unretire a field. From the Fields tab, if you click on a field, a panel will open on the right side. From this panel, you can see basic details like client farm field structure and field size. Closer to the bottom, you will see the option to edit the field details or the boundary, retire the field, or access the Field Manager. The Field Manager is where you will manage all the field resources. But before jumping into the Field Manager, we're first going to circle back to creating a new field. In the main Fields tab, click Add in the top right corner. The Import option will bring you through a similar upload wizard as the current Client Farm Field section does. The second option is to create New, which is what we'll be going through today. Once clicked, a mapping window will now open where you can start using the tools at the top bar to draw a new boundary. To summarize these tools, you have basic tools like Undo, Redo, Select, and Delete, along with another option to import to just bring in the physical boundary as a starting point. The Add dropdown allows you to draw a rectangle, circle, or a polygon. You'll notice that as you draw a polygon, the estimated area will show up in the left-hand corner. Just double-click on the last point to close. For the circle and rectangle, it's more of a click, drag, and release type motion. Once the boundary is drawn, you can either single-click to move the whole polygon or double-click to edit the points. When in this edit mode, you have the option of dropping additional points by clicking on the orange point in the middle of 2 vertices. You can also click, hold, and drag any vertex to make the necessary adjustments. An additional tooltip for this one is that you can also use the Add tool to fill in any holes in your boundary that were created with the Subtract tool. And finally, the Subtract tool. This one subtracts parts from the existing polygon using similar actions as the Add tool. There were a few new enhancements that we're going to go over as well, such as the 3-dimensional view for vertical mapping features. To use this, click and hold the 2 triangles and move your mouse up and down. To reset the view, just single-click those triangles. A buffer feature to expand or contract the boundary based on distance, area, or rows. And an enhanced measure tool that will now allow you to measure area along with distance. Once you are happy with the boundary, we now need to move over to the right-hand panel to enter the field name. You can then either select an existing client and farm, or you can create one off the fly by clicking the plus button. At the very bottom, you can also see the boundary area has been calculated for you based on your map. And you can either click Match Boundary Area to copy the boundary area to the tillable area, or enter the tillable area manually. We're now going to move on to the new features included in the Field Manager. I'm going to first access the Field Manager by clicking on a field. Scroll down to the bottom of the right panel and click on Field Manager. You can see that the new page is set up with the resource list on the left side and the mapping window on the right. Your resource list is where you can access the different farm resources associated with that field. We're going to take a closer look at those in just a bit, but first we're going to focus on the mapping area. In the upper right-hand corner, you can find some of the standard navigation tools that we've gone over. At the bottom right corner, there's a plus symbol that can be used to either create new or upload one of the various resource features to the field. To create a new feature, click the plus symbol. Select Create New, and select the feature type. This is then going to open a new GIS window where you can leverage the relative editing tools that we previously discussed to create the appropriate resource. One last thing to note in this section: any resource that is visible on the mapping window has an interactive component to it, meaning when you click the resource, it will bring you to the Resource Details window where you can review or edit the feature and its details as needed. Moving over to the Resource panel, the Boundaries section will help you manage the field extents along with any additional boundaries. The Option button at the bottom of the list opens up a panel on the right side with a few additional settings. As you work through each category, including the boundaries, you will notice some similar features that apply to each resource type. You can click on the eye to make each resource either visible or hidden in the mapping window. Clicking on each category with an arrow on the left will expand and contract it, showing or hiding all subcategories and the amount of items in each. By selecting an item within the resource category, it will open a new panel on the left side that is specific to that resource category. From here, you can leverage the search and filter tools to find the desired resource. The checkboxes on the left side of the resource can be used to help you perform bulk or individual actions like retiring or exporting. Clicking either the individual resource name or by selecting it in the mapping window, this will open up a details panel on the right side that can allow you to view and edit the resource details. Under the three dots, you can remove and unretire a resource, along with additional resource-specific options. For example, with guidance lines, you can also duplicate as new landmark line or create an offset. Landmark areas can be used to replace the field extent or create a duplicate new boundary. When you select a management zone, prescription, or a crop zone, the options in the right panel will change. For management zones, you will see zone details along with the ability to edit, delete, or print a zone report. For prescriptions, the panel shows a preview of the rate details and relevant totals. There is also an option to send the prescription directly to a vehicle. An additional tab at the top that allows you to track your send history. For crop zones, you will see basic details at the top. Under the three dots, you will also have the options to replace the crop zone boundary with the field extent, split the crop zone for that season. This could be used for situations like you are growing more than one crop type on different parts of the field. Create a copy of the crop zone for cases where you grow more than one crop type over the whole field in one season. Or you can delete the crop zone. So this is the new Field Manager tool in the Trimble Ag software. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.